Right then, I feel like this video is overdue. We're a couple days away from the new Premier League season, and Manchester City are being written off in the title race by a lot of people, and I think that that is a very big mistake from a lot of people right now, making their Premier League predictions, which, by the way, I will be doing in a few days' time, do not worry. But people are writing Manchester City off coming into the season, and I find it absolutely wild. And in this video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to investigate a couple of the reasons why these people are saying that Manchester City are not going to be potentially in the title race next season, are not going to win the league, are going to finish third, perhaps even some people are saying lower. I'm going to break down the reasons why they believe that, and then I'm going to tell you the reasons why I think that they're wrong, and the reasons why I do think Manchester City are going to at least compete for the Premier League title. And let's start off with the reasons why people are underrating Manchester City coming into the new season, and I can kind of understand the reason that a lot of people are giving. Defensive. I understand why people say that defensively we don't look that good coming into the season. Against Palermo on the weekend, we were a little bit worrying in the first 15-20 minutes of the game. Against Al Hilal in the Club World Cup, again, very worrying across that game. Transitions were absolutely killing us. However, I do think that there are a few things about Manchester City coming into this new season which will take time for Manchester City to be able to ride out, but I think that we will get there as the season goes on. Defensively, I understand what people are saying in terms of the way that we've been playing. However, when you actually look at the unit of defenders that Manchester City have coming into this new season, I really do think that people are kind of sleeping on the quality which we do possess. Obviously, in the goalkeeping role, we've got Ederson at the moment, and we've got Trafford. Now, Trafford's going to come in. He's going to apply pressure on Ederson. I don't think he will start for us coming into the new season. But I think that Ederson has proven that, yes, okay, there's been a few mistakes that he's made against Palermo. Again, he made a mistake coming out, cleaning out a player without getting the ball. However, I think he's proven that he's good enough to be in goal for a team that wins a Premier League title. He's done it enough times. Defensively, I actually think we've got quite a lot of options, and I do think it actually gives us a lot of flexibility coming into the new season. We just need to get the balance right in our back line. Now, in the centre-back role, we've got Ruben Diaz and Josko Gvardiol, who finished the season last season very strongly. Now, Diaz, I think, can actually get better from last season. I thought Gvardiol really impressed me coming towards the back end of last season. But we've also got Khusanov, who can play there. He was really good in the first half against Palermo. And on top of that as well, John Stones. Again, he's coming back if he can stay fit, which is a big if, but if he can stay fit, we've got four centre-backs in Gvardiol, Diaz, Stones, and Khusanov, which are very high quality. So there's a lot of quality in there. You add the depth of having a Kanji in there as well, Nathan Ake, and I think we've got a good unit of centre-backs which can play in that position. Now, a big area which I think a lot of people are pointing to with Manchester City is the fullback areas, right? We've got two very attacking fullbacks with obviously Rayan, ait-nouri, the new signing at left back, and matheus nunes at right back. I personally do not believe that you can play both of them in the same team for balance purposes, because I think they're both attacking wing backs. And I think it's the responsibility of Pep Guardiola this season to look at the opposition we're playing and identify which fullback is more advantageous for Manchester City. Whether Nunes is going to be better for a game or ait-nouri is going to be better for a game. I do think we have defensive options in each one of those channels which can cover for each side. So for example, if Rayan ait-nouri plays in the left back role and he is going to be our attacking left back for that game, I personally believe that we have the options of a Kanji and Khusanov, who can both play as that right back, to have kind of like a three at the back alongside, obviously, ait-nouri is going to push up to just give us that defensive stability and cover, so we don't have two fullbacks up the pitch bombing on. I think both of them can play that role effectively. And then let's say we flip it. Matheus Nunes is starting in the right back role and he's getting up the pitch. I personally believe that you've got the options of, first of all, Gvardiol can slot in there, whether you want to play another centre-back, one of the options I said before, and you play Gvardiol at left-back, or maybe you want to play Nathan Ake at left-back. Again, two defensive options who can play in that role, and Gvardiol also gives you an option who's going to be technically very good and can get forward as well. So I do think that we've got plenty of options within the defence, and we've got high-quality players in there. It's just about finding the balance, which I think is going to be something that Pep Guardiola is going to figure out throughout the season. But I think the big thing on the defensive front, which we need to remember, is that Manchester City aren't going to have the same defensive problems this season as what we had last season. And the reason why I say that is because we've recruited in the midfield. Now, last season, our biggest issue was transitions through the midfield. We were very soft, we were very vulnerable. We didn't have the legs and the athleticism in there to be able to compete with other Premier League midfielders. Players like Ilkay Gundogan, Rico Lewis, they just don't have the legs to be able to cover ground in the midfield and provide that cover for the defense, which is so needed needed in a Pep Guardiola setup. This season, we're going to have Rodri, who will come back. He's obviously got a little bit of an injury coming into the season, but he will come back and he will get back to his best, which is going to plug a massive hole that we've had in the midfield. But on top of that as well, we've got Nico Gonzalez, who we've added in there, who is athletic. He can get about the pitch. He can fill in for Rodri when he's not there. And we have Tijjani reijnders, who we've signed as well. So we've got two midfielders in there who have legs, who can cover ground. So I think that we're going to be able to be less susceptible to counterattacks through the middle of the park like we were many occasions last season. So I think that that's actually going to make us a lot better of a side at handling transitions. And I've actually seen an argument out there that Manchester City do not have the same level of creativity and attacking options in which we used to, and therefore people are saying that we don't have a good front line. I really disagree with that. I actually think we have the best front line in the Premier League, and I'm going to go through the options that we have because I think we have so many options that it's almost an overload of options at the moment. Off of the right hand side, we've got Savinho, who had a good game against Palermo. We had Oscar Bobb, who had a good first half against Palermo. We've also got Cherki can play there. We've got Foden, who can play there. That is 4 very high level attackers off of that right hand side as options. In the attacking midfield, we've obviously got Ryan Cherki and Phil Foden that can both play in that role, and Echeverry, if he does not go on loan, he will be another option in that attacking midfield position. Then off the left hand side, we've got players like Jeremy Doku, Omar Marmoush, who is an absolute world beater of a forward. So I mean, they are going to be our main 2 options off the left hand side, but you can also play Foden off of the left as well. So they are really good options off of the left. And then up front, of course, we've got Erling Haaland, and if he was to get injured, we've also got Marmoush who can fill in that position. So we've got so much depth and quality around our front line. I think that we have so much potential to score goals in this team, whether it's in the team that we first put out or the team that we've got on the bench, which we can bring on to affect games. I think we've got so much attacking power that we are going to score plenty of goals this season. And I think that we've seen that in pre-season, that we can score a lot of goals. And so overall, I think we've got such a strong squad and we've got so many options within this team at the moment that I think that we are going to be competitive this season, very competitive. And I think that there is a good chance we win the Premier League this season. And I'm not just saying that because I'm a Manchester City fan. I'm saying that because I'm looking at the squad at the moment, the amount of options. I look at, okay, do we have players that can create chances? Yes, we do. Do we have goal scorers in there? Yes, we have proven goal scorers at Premier League level. And then I'm looking at the midfield. We've got good depth in there. We've got a lot of players that can cover ground, who are athletic. We've got Rodri coming back. Then defensively, again, like I said, I look at the options we've got across the whole defense. And if we get the balance right, I do think that we can put together a very strong first 11 and we can be defensively quite watertight. So I think that this Manchester City team will take time to evolve across the season. Obviously, in the first few games, I think it will be important to get, a couple of wins under our belt, get that confidence flowing, because we do have, after the international break, two games that are going to be quite difficult in Manchester United and Arsenal. So they're going to be 2 big games that we need to get ready for in those first 3 games. Hopefully we can get the wins under our belt. But I think that people are sleeping on Manchester City coming into the new season, and I think it's very dangerous. I don't think you should be sleeping on City. Because there's one man that I've not even really talked about in this video so far, which should tell you enough of why Manchester City are very likely to be in a Premier League title race and very likely to potentially win the Premier League, and that is Pep Guardiola. You look at his track record. He has got the track record of, the best track record of any manager in history in terms of winning league titles. If he doesn't win a league title, the evidence is there. He will win it in the next season. So I think that at the very least, we are going to be very competitive next season. I think we're going to at least take it down to the last couple of days of the season, because we have a track record of finishing campaigns very strong. And I do think that this season is going to be very similar. We're going to take time to get into our full flow. But by the time we get into, Christmas, just coming out into the new year, I think City will click into a different gear. I think that we'll know our best team. And I think that we will be very, very good, and we'll probably win the majority of games between that period and the end of the season. So I think that City are not to be slept on coming into the new season. I think that it will, as I said, take time for us to get into that gear. But once we get into the gear, we've got the players, we've got the talent to really put up a really good title challenge next season. And I just think when you look through the team and you look at the names in there, I just don't see how you can write us off at the moment. People are really sleeping on the fact that we've got Haaland, we've got Rodri, Reijnders, Cherki, Foden, Marmoush, Diaz, Guardiola. These are top-level footballers, And I really just think it's bizarre, to be completely honest, why people are writing Manchester City off at the moment. We've got the manager, we've got the players, they look hungry in pre-season, and I just think that the quality and the depth is there to be able to go this season. The depth wasn't really there last season. I'm looking across the squad. There is so much depth across this Manchester City squad at the moment, so much so that we need to get rid of some players. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about Manchester City coming into the new season, especially if you are a rival fan. I would say to all rival fans, do not write Manchester City coming off. I've seen a lot of people putting City third in predictions, saying that we won't win the title this season. We're probably not going to be in the title race towards the end of the season. I think it's foolish to write Manchester City off with the manager we have, with the players we've got. And I think as well this season that we're going to play some of the best football you've seen City play in years. So let me know what you guys think about City heading into the new season. I'm very excited for the first game of the season against Wolverhampton Wanderers. So yeah, let me know what you guys think coming into the new season in the comments below. Hit the like button if you did enjoy the video, and hit the subscribe button if you do want to see more of my content. I'm going for that 1,000 mark. So if you can get me over it, I'd be very, very thankful. But I'll see you guys in the next one. The Premier League predictions is my next video that will be coming out. So watch out for that one, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.